not the finish. That's where I rise every.
Hey guys, how is everyone doing? I hope you're all well. We've got some really good things we're going to be discussing for this exciting upcoming CaRMS application. Exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time. We're going to unfold many layers of what you need in your Canadian application to stand out when you're applying for CaRMS. Do you know what CanMEDS role is? I'll give you a second to answer. So the CanMed rules are basically qualities that every Canadian doctor should have. So the more you emphasize that in your daily practice and you can give examples in your applications, in your personal letters, the more you're going to sell yourself, the more people are going to catch their eye on your application. Let's talk about it. What are the CanMed rules? So they're basically the framework, like I said. And the first quality that they're looking for is that the doctor or the applicant is a medical expert. So if you're working in Canada as an IMG and as a clinical assistant, this would mean being able to take a thorough history, do a thorough physical exam, suggest possible management plans, and that you have worked in the clinical setting and you have demonstrated that, and that your supervisor is there and they acknowledge and agree with your plan. So basically that's what a medical expert in this scenario would mean. And if you have practice back home, you can demonstrate that just so they know that you are a medical expert. Moreover, the next one would be a good communicator. So you can, for example, if you're bilingual, trilingual, you can say, I use my different languages to communicate with patients who do not speak English and speak the other languages. And I've used interpreters or online translators on the phone or to help make sure that I understand my patient's needs and that they are getting the most they can from us in a way that they understand what we are saying as well. So that would be what a good communicator would be. So as an IMG or as an applicant, how would you put that in your personal letter? Made sure I understood my patient's needs so that I could help them in the best way possible with them being involved in their care. So that would be a very good way of showing that you're a good communicator. Or let's talk about the third point, which would be a collaborator. One person alone, if you're a good doctor, you're good with dealing with patients, but people want to see if you're able to work with other people, because not all the time you're going to find people who you click with, but you still need to know how to work in a team, a healthcare team. In your CV as an IMG, the way you can demonstrate that would be, I've made referrals to physiotherapists, to different specialists. I've worked alongside different healthcare professionals. If you're working in a healthcare team where there are registered nurses or nurse practitioners, you can mention that as well, that you work alongside them and you made sure you had a good relation with them, ensuring the best care for the patient. So other allied health professionals, so that would be dietitians, nurse practitioners, occupational therapists, physiotherapists, psychotherapists. So all of these allied professionals, they want to know that you're able to work in a team. Collaborator would mean showing that you've made referrals, you know how to use the EMR in the clinics over here in Canada, and that you know how to make a referral to any specialist when required. For example, you're sending the patient to the orthopedic surgeon if they need a surgery or they need an evaluation to see if they need a knee replacement surgery. The fourth one would be a health advocate. You want to show that you care about promoting health. Make sure that your CV or your personal letter is really focusing on that. So, for example, you're involved in campaigns, to diabetes campaigns, you're making people more aware in the underserved communities. So these are some things you can think of, but do not copy these examples. Please use real life examples. It's very easy to tell for examiners and people who take your interviews if you've made up the stuff on your CV or not. Just make sure they're reproducible. Being a leader. Do you have those qualities that you can lead people, or that in difficult situations you can take the responsibility, work as a team and lead the team? Do you have those qualities in which you can work as a team member even with team members you're not getting along with? So any example you have in your practice or in your medical school, if you just graduated recently, emphasize on that. Are you a scholar? Are you interested in, do you have research? Are you interested in research? Are you interested in being a part of that growth and that expansion of knowledge by doing more research work? So that's very important, and that's definitely something that they really do appreciate when they look at your profile. And last but not the least, are you professional? What does professional mean? Can you maintain your professional behavior when it's high stress, high stakes? Can you maintain your professional attitude? Can you maintain your decorum? Can you maintain your manners? Can you maintain your reactions under pressure? Can you do that? So these are the CanMED roles. And you really need to make sure that your interview, your personal letter, your CV, they all have emphasized all these qualities. And be realistic. Do not make up examples. It's best to stay true to yourself and true to the stories and true to everything you've done. Tell me in the comments below, what CanMEDS role do you think you have and which ones do you think you need to work on, so we can make a plan together. And let's see, if you have any questions, leave it in the comment box below. But we want to make sure that your application is standing out among all the thousands of applications. I just wanted to quickly give a few examples of how you can stand out in your clinical practice or working as a clinical assistant as an IMG here in Canada. So as a communicator, make sure you have the right techniques when you're talking to patients. For example, breaking bad news and informed consent for a big surgery. How do you want them? How do you talk to the patient? Ask the patient if they want to involve their family and all that good stuff. So make sure you have these small tips that they require here in the Canadian system. It might be very different when you're coming from where you're coming from back home, but over here they do require that you have these techniques and they do assess them. Work on yourself. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see it for you guys. I see it. So I'm rooting for you and you are rooting for yourselves. Take care. See you in my next video. Bye.